Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. We're actually doing the TTS Showdown today, episode 2. We're pitting all the text-to-speech large language models against each other. Today is going to be a super awesome show. It's 11Labs.
I've been binge watching Stranger Things, right?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of the main characters in that show
is 11.
Her name is 11.
Yeah, you told me. Is that
Oh yeah, we did a viral video on her, didn't we?
We did.
Tried.
It actually did not bad. It's actually not bad. I think it was one of our a few thousand ones. It's actually not bad. All right, here we go, guys. Queue up your questions.
Welcome to Season 9 of Airhead Institute, your 45-minute power-up at noon Eastern. This month, we are broadcasting live across all the socials and Zoom. If you're new here, join our free community to grow alongside other curious minds and give your kids a head start by enrolling them in the Airhead After School program. Here is the weekly lineup. Mondays, we build future in the AI Agent Academy. Tuesdays, witness the vocal gauntlet in the TTS Showdown. Wednesdays, protect your identity and family in AI Safety 101. Thursdays, we uncover the secret tools in hidden AI gems, appetizers. Fridays, we explore the what-if files in the AI Singularity. We're making AI practical, powerful, and accessible for everyone. No tech background? No problem. Whether you're a student, professional, or lifelong learner, just show up. Guided by your hosts, AI Junior and AI Johnny, we're keeping it bold, brainy, and built for real-world impact. AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Don't get left behind.
Welcome back to Airhead Institute, Season 9. Today is Episode 2, and we are continuing our TTS Showdown series. Last week we saw Google Gemini try to sing, but today we bring in the king of sing. Imagine recording a podcast without ever speaking a word. Imagine fixing a mistake in your video just by typing the new sentence. Today we are testing ElevenLabs, the tool that literally invented the modern voice cloning craze. It is still the king in 2026, or has it lost its crown? Speaking of lost crowns, I found Junior in a panic this morning. He was trying to clone his own voice, but he accidentally uploaded a clip of a chainsaw. Now his computer just screams at him every time he opens a tab. Junior, did you manage to fix your vocal cords?
Actually, AI Johnny, that chainsaw voice had incredible prosody. But yes, I'm back to my factory settings. Welcome everyone. Hey Shauna, thanks for joining us. You actually joined. So first of all the buttons and sliders look intimidating. But once you actually know which one is the fader control, which one is the volume, you're going to be making hits. So this is an immersive class. So, everyone don't try to actually understand everything all at the same time. You are learning AI today. All right, so stick with us and you'll be mixing audio like a pro. Zoom users, unmute and ask your questions live. No big deal. If you're on socials and streaming, there's a 30-second delay. So ask your questions now. So guys, today is a second day, is day 2 of the TTS Showdown. Thank you, Sean, for that. Today is day 2 of TTS Showdown. We're running the exact same gauntlet tests we ran the last week on Gemini. So our goal is to determine if ElevenLabs justifies the price tag compared to the free tool. All right, AI Johnny. So talk to me. What's going on?
2 quick things. What in the blue hell is prosody? And 2, I noticed you stuttered a bit when you were pronouncing that word. Could we use ElevenLabs to fix that sentence in the dub?
We could. Now, I guess, for anybody who's joining, we actually try to do word of the week, and we actually did prosody last week as word of the week. So it is the rhythm, stress, and intonation of speech, the music of how we talk. So the analogy would be the difference between like a robot reading a list of ingredients and a grandmother telling you a bedtime story. So it's the flow of the sound of voice, so it doesn't sound like a robot. So great one, Johnny.
Very good. I'm just testing your memory, brother.
Of course, of course,
Well
of
done.
course. Do we have a word of the day today?
We have a word of the day every day, brother. Today, the word of the day is zero shot. Love that word. You talked about it last week, but it hasn't been the word of the day. It sounds like a bad marksman, but in AI, it's a superpower. Zero shot means the AI can perform a task like speaking in your voice without ever having specifically been trained on it before. In the old days, you needed hours of audio to clone a voice. With the zero shot voice cloning, ElevenLabs takes a 30-second sample and guesses how that voice would say anything else. It infers the rest of your vocal identity instantly.
You're
Pretty
absolutely
cool.
you're absolutely right, yeah, Johnny. So we're gonna go to the wow factor now. But before we go to the wow factor, yeah, Johnny, the Gemini bridge. Let's actually bridge the actual wow factor with the actual thing that we're gonna do. So go ahead
Before we
and
log on to ElevenLabs, is this where we're doing it? The Gemini Bridge? We consulted Gemini, our large language model of the month.
yes,
We
sir.
asked it to analyze the ElevenLabs State of the Union in 2026. So we asked Gemini, what is the single most mind-blowing stat about ElevenLabs right now? You want to do the reveal?
Exactly, yeah, Johnny. So, we actually partner with a large language model every single month, and we want to get you guys to be able to use other large language models because ChatGPT is not the only one here. So, if you want to be able to learn, we actually give you a broad breadth of large language models. We used Z.AI last month in January for our large language model month. So, we actually asked Gemini, and you can actually find Gemini at gemini.google.com. I'll drop the link in the chat for you guys to follow along. Um, Shauna is saying, sound like a bad marksman. Thanks, Shauna. All right, so if you go to gemini.google.com, you actually can type in a prompt just like a chat GPT, and we actually got back that it's the single most mind-blowing fact about ElevenLabs right now is the $11 billion valuation, which it achieved in February 2026 after raising $500 million in Seed D round funding. This represents a threefold increase in value in just 1 year and cements its position as one of the three largest AI unicorns in Europe. So that's a huge, 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 huge thing for ElevenLab, which is why it is the 700-pound gorilla in this actual test. So, AI Johnny, let's go to the test. We actually put Gemini last week when this TTS showdown. If you're not sure what TTS stands for, it's text to speech. And text to speech just means you put in text and then the large language model turns on it and gives you back speech, right? It's no one difference between TTT, text to text, which is what we use. We type in text, we get back text, or we do TTV, you type in text, you get back video. So again, all these things you're going to learn in this immersive learning. So let's go through it. So AI Johnny, the first test we actually did was we opened with last week and we said let's sing happy birthday. Now we did the exact same test with happy birthday, and this is what happy birthday sounds like. We said let's sing it in an opera voice. So if anybody was here in the last TTS showdown on episode 1, this is what we did. So let's sing in an opera voice. AI Johnny, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. How do you think it's going to do? Remember, ElevenLabs is the king. How do you think it's going to do, AI Johnny?
I could sing it in an opera voice better than it could, I think. We'll
All right.
see.
All right.
You do it. If I think I can do better, I'll do it. If I
All right.
don't, I will concede to the TTIS.
Yeah. All right. So let me drop ElevenLabs in the link so you guys can actually follow along. All right. So check this out.
Sing in an opera voice. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear TTS Showdown. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, Johnny, wasn't that an amazing happy birthday singing from ElevenLabs in a amazing opera voice?
It was fantastic. My God.
Yeah. So this is the first thing I want us to realize. Believe it or not, ElevenLabs, you cannot put prompts in just as you expect to put it in all the other TTS providers. So TTS, again, text to speech, if you're joining us live, was not able to actually do something like this. So, if you listen to it again, it even says my words sing in an opera voice. Listen.
Sing in an opera voice. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Yeah, this is actually rather a complete failure. Now, here's the thing, AI Johnny. What they're doing now is they had to compete with all the other features that are actually missing, and they actually ElevenLabs introduced a new kind of model that actually is focused only on singing. So we're changing the testers a little bit because I don't want to knock ElevenLabs out of the actual game. Yes, Shauna said it correctly. Definitely a failure on that opera voice, right? It completely failed. So what ElevenLabs did was they said, let's go ahead and create a song engine. And because they created a song engine, they actually have a different feature where you generate songs. So they're competing with Suno. So AI Johnny, you still want to take that bet if you can actually sing better than ElevenLabs Happy Birthday in an opera voice?
Well, let's see how it does. But if it does good, I think that we should create a song engine for rap.
We definitely should. So let's try this out. Let's hear what it sounds like.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
All right, yeah, Johnny, what do you think?
Whoa. I think that the difference between ElevenLabs version 1 and version 2 is like the difference between Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. The second one was way better.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Also, Sean is actually agreeing with you much, much better. And I agree with you. So ElevenLabs, actually, I would give it a fail if I were to try to use the same exact comparison on the TTS model, if you were to compete it with what Gemini did. Now, what Gemini did, if you missed it, go back in episode 1 of last week's class to see exactly how we did it and how it sounded. But it actually would have failed. Now, without this new feature in ElevenLabs to make songs, then it would have failed that basic test. So we're gonna give it a pass here because it actually squeezed it in a hidden feature somewhere else in ElevenLabs. So unless you know where that feature is, and I'll show you guys right now on the left hand side. If you open out, there's a music section in ElevenLabs in the menu, and you'll see music, and you can go ahead and create your music. All right, yeah, Johnny, ready for the next test?
I'm ready for the next test.
All right, so here's what we did. We did last time is we said, let's go ahead and make pauses. We want to hear it sounds like, a little scary, and let's see if it's actually can, generate real natural sounds. So here's the sounds that we actually did. And this is what it sounds like with pauses.
I walked into the room. Wait. Did I hear something? No. It's nothing.
All right. So, AI Johnny, what do you think about that nervousness and that pauses and the sounds? Does it sound natural?
I thought the pause was terrifyingly real. It was amazing to see that the software is now taking breaths. And it made me think of a cool riddle.
Yeah.
Which I just posted up on the board. What has no eyes but can read, and has no lungs but can breathe?
ElevenLabs.
ElevenLabs.
I love that. All right. So in this test, when we actually pitted the same exact things against Google Gemini in last week's episode, in my opinion, it does sound realistic, but look what I had to do to make it to make it sound real, guys. Right? I will be honest with you. I don't think anybody's gonna know how to write that naturally. So I'm gonna paste that prompt in the chat so everybody can have access to that prompt. Right? I had to write I ... walked into the room, less than break time equals 0.08 seconds greater than all this HTML and markup wait. And I said to the that d dash did I would burn up so many tokens trying to actually get these nuances in there to make it sound realistic. So I played around with it for a little bit, and honestly, I can see why ElevenLabs is the king. The problem is they're actually making their feature sets so hard that they're out of the realm of regular users. I don't think a regular user can use this in just these tests because it can't do the singing. You can't actually do the prompting of just, I want to make it sound nervous. It was just a prompt. So you have to get a little bit too technical. So that's one of the things I'm actually seeing here. So let's do the Scottish accent. Yeah, Johnny, right?
I'm ready for it.
All right, so we did the same exact test and with the Scottish accent, and this was the one where, a guy from Glasgow, Scotland, and we're gonna hear what it sounds like.
I told you clearly. I cannot find the keys to the lorry anywhere in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, how do you think about that one?
I told you clearly.
I
I
have
cannot
friends
find the
from
keys to
the
the
other
lorry
side of the
anywhere in the
pond.
house.
Yeah. And do you
And
think
they don't sound as good as that, and they're from there.
Yeah, so it actually sounds good, but I really want to find the one from Gemini last week to hear what it sounds like because I'm actually rather disappointed because you had to actually find a specific voice and because you had to find a specific voice. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. No. So listen to the Gemini one.
I told you clearly, I cannot find the keys to the lorry anywhere in the house.
I'm gonna play the ElevenLabs one.
I told you clearly. I cannot find the keys to the lorry anywhere in the house.
Yeah, and because this is a TTS showdown, I have to definitely agree with Shauna here. Gemini has it. It's very clear that that's much better of a voice from a Scottish accent.
It was a richer accent for sure.
Yeah.
Is that the parameter? The richness of it?
Well, it's the one that would actually come off more authentic to me, right? So I think this one is more authentic. Even listen to the one with the breathe with the spaces. Listen to how terrifying this girl sounds.
I walked into the room. Wait, did I hear something? No, it's nothing.
That sounds way more natural than ElevenLabs this version.
I walked into the room. Wait. Did I hear something? No. It's nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, Johnny, can you hear the subtle little differences that Gemini?
I can. If I was a casting director and I was casting for a part of a nervous person or the part of a Scottish person, yes, in both cases I would go with Gemini, which is kind of unusual. Is it because ElevenLabs? The ElevenLabs has been around longer. How did Gemini leapfrog like that?
Yeah, so I have a hypothesis, and I'm gonna actually give that when we play this first one again. So the first one is the happy birthday. So the happy birthday, ElevenLabs actually failed at the happy birthday, but listen to happy birthday in an opera voice that actually came, and listen to the Gemini's version.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, so here's what I think is happening, is Gemini splits up the prompt and the style into two text boxes. This is the same thing as Suno does. Suno separates the style into one text box and the lyrics into another text box. What ElevenLabs is trying to do is trying to give you one text box that you shove in both style and the actual content in, and it's just way too complicated. So sometimes it actually says what you're saying in the style, sometimes it says what you're saying in the words. It's just really confusing. So I think Suno nailed the separate the style from the actual words that you're going to say. And now they actually have all this, I don't want to say garbage, but extra garbage that you need to put in the prompt because it's one text box that you're mixing in style and also mixing in words that you're going to say. So I think 11 Labs, if you're an advanced user and you know how to do all this metadata tagging, it's huge. But I think they failed when it comes to really basic, simple tasks. And I think Gemini outshines 11 Labs in this one.
Less is more.
Yep, you're right. And
The easier it is to the user, the more users you'll get.
Definitely. And so Shauna's saying, AI Johnny picked the Gemini accent last week, and I'm not feeling happy after Gemini's version of the happy birthday song. You're absolutely right, Shauna. All right, so let's actually go to the last one. And this one, AI Johnny, they failed last week. Gemini failed on translating or saying something in Japanese. And guess what? 11 Labs actually nailed it. So native translation.
日の天気は綺麗ですね。
Now, I don't speak Japanese, so unfortunately I can't tell you what it says, but I know it's something not bad. I think it actually says something like, let me see what the note says. It says, the weather is beautiful today, isn't it? Now, if any Japanese speakers out there, please, if you're actually hearing that, please put it in the comments if that's not what it said. Let me check.
天気は綺麗ですね。
Yeah, so it actually did really, really good at the multilingual models. So AI Johnny, that's the actual Gauntlet test. We ran it through 4 exact same tests that we did last week on Gemini's TTS. We are going to do 4 more tests next week, and then 4 more tests in our season finale after that on the other TTS models coming up. But overall, what do you think about 11 Labs in our basic, let's call it Airhead Institute 4 Gauntlet tests?
I walked into this TTS showdown thinking nobody was going to hold a candle to 11 Labs, and I'm having a wake up call. It seems to me like Gemini is doing some really good stuff. So I have to tell the truth. It doesn't sound like, based on these examples, that 11 Labs is in the is in the fast lane right now.
Yeah, you're right, yeah, Johnny. No, I think if we were to spend more time training a Scottish accent or finding the perfect accent out there and then applying that, we could get it to actually speak really excitingly or those type of things. If we wanted to train somebody who was really scared, I think we could do those things if we could learn the formatting and all the proprietary meta tags that you can shove into to make it sound real. You could, but I just want to type a prompt and let it actually do its thing, just like what Shauna is saying just a while ago. Thank you, Shauna, for that. That's too much, though. You're absolutely right. So I think they're way too complex. And if you're an engineer and you know about sound production and you know the meta tags, I think it makes sense. But I don't think it makes sense for a regular consumer.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Johnny, let's get into the killer features of 11 Labs. What are the killer features that are really amazing about 11 Labs?
So the level 1 killer features are price, of course, right? They have a free tier, correct? But no good stuff starts at the creator tier. I'm sorry, all good stuff starts at the creator tier. So it's $22 a month, but you can tip your toe in the water for 10,000 characters a month without paying a dime.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's go over that for a second. So, they actually have a nice free tier. They give you actually enough credits per month to be able to do some basic tryouts. But like AI Johnny mentioned, once you actually start getting into the really good stuff, you have to start paying. The next killer feature itself is the clones. It is the king of clones. So if you wanted to be able to use a clone voice, it is the king right now. So I definitely think that if you were to it would be injustice if we said, hey, you know what? We're not going to talk about the cloning feature in our TTS showdown Gauntlet test, but we had to introduce this because Gemini does not allow cloning. 11 Labs allows cloning. So cloning itself, as we saw in any other episode that we actually did, does a really good job of making your voice sound exactly like you. And if you're going to do cloning, that definitely is a feature that you want to look into.
Let me talk about cloning for a second, brother, because I have used the cloning feature of 11 Labs. So as you know, we talked a little bit about, I'm just going to touch on HeyGen for a minute. HeyGen will make an avatar of your face, your video rendition of who you are. But if you tell it to talk, it'll talk, but it'll just pick some voice. But you can also load into HeyGen an ElevenLabs clone of your own voice. So if you're using an avatar of yourself and an ElevenLabs clone of your own voice, it will look like you and sound like you. So that's one thing. That's great that you can take your clone and bring in 11. Of course, you can take it into any text box and have yourself saying something. So if you wanted to reply to an email audibly without actually reading it, you could take your 11 Loans Collab, rate your response, have it do that, and send it out. You're probably going to get to that later in the thing. But not every great software out there, like, for example, GeoFlow, right, or VioFlow, that does videos. I can do a video of myself, but I'm stuck using whatever voice VO gives me. If I want to make a video of myself with my own voice, we have to wait for another version that allows you to either create a voice clone in VO or allows us to connect to the voice clone that you have in ElevenLabs. And once that happens, where I can make movies that I'm in with my voice, then I become a movie star. And once I become a movie star, Junior, you're out of luck. You're going to be co-authoring this show with Rita.
Hey, I don't mind. Come on down, Rita. All right, AI Johnny. So the next killer feature we should go over. AI Johnny, which one's your favorite? There's a killer feature that's your favorite, right?
My favorite is instead of typing text, you can speak into a microphone. You can act out the line with emotion, and AI replaces your voice with the target voice, but keeps your performance. If you whisper, the clone whispers. It's called speech to speech.
Yeah,
that's my favorite one.
That's actually pretty impressive. I like that too. For the people who actually want, the dubbing studio, for YouTubers, this is actually magic. You get to upload your video, you select Spanish, and it not only translates the audio, but it actually dubs it using the voice that you choose, and it actually tries to time it to fit the video length. So that's actually pretty good. I see Rita's actually chiming into the being the actual co-host once you actually do all your things. AI Johnny, I love it. Gotcha. You got me, Rita. All right. So for the cons, So Killer Feature 3, it actually has the music studio. So I would definitely think that this is something to watch out for, because Sono has been doing really great job in terms of music, and I think it's probably even one of the top 3 large language models for music. But the fact that ElevenLabs have introduced music, we definitely have to give it to ElevenLabs for even being a contender in this category. So Suno better watch out, because ElevenLabs is coming for you. All right, AI Johnny. What about the cons? What are the limitations of using this TTS model, ElevenLabs?
Well, showing the credit usage bar, it burns up a lot of credits, and that's a con that I have with every piece of software. The fact that they tell you that you're getting points or you're getting credits or you're getting whatever, instead of saying dollars, right? Right. So that I don't really know when I burn 1,000 credits, did I burn $1,000? Did I burn 1,000 cents? So, but I guess it does go through a lot. One of the cons is that it is very hard to use to get exactly what you want. There is no prompt to adjust what you want. You need to select a voice and add complex meta tags. So it's a lot of trial and error. It's one of the cons.
Yes, and Johnny, I agree with you. I do not like their model of not having a prompt. So I will double down, triple down, quadruple down, whatever the number is. If you don't give me a prompt to mix the styling, I think you've already lost. You're mixing text and style in the same text box, and you're not having the user describe what they want. And I think it's a huge hurdle that the users are gonna have to go over. So you're right, yeah, Johnny. Hallucinations. Go ahead.
Well, I want to go back to that credit burn for a second, because that's a real pain point for me.
Yep.
So here's one of the things that really bugs me. If you mess up a line and you have to regenerate it 5 times, you just paid for it 5 times. Every character costs you money. So unlike Gemini, where you can just keep re-rolling, here you watch your bank account drain. And here's the problem. Of those 5 generations that you had to do over and over and over again, the reason it generated it wrong more times than not, maybe 9 times out of 10, is because they didn't follow what the prompt said. They're hallucinating. So why am I paying for its mistake? That's my big burn on the credit burn.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. And because you have to, their styling is so complicated, right? Like, look at this. I cannot imagine a normal person typing this into the prompt, right? So I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. I cannot expect any normal person type in, angle brackets. And imagine if you get one of those wrong. You're not going to be able to see it. And because you're not going to see it, you're going to get the prompt wrong. It's going to generate the wrong audio. And you're going to be like, why did it mess up the audio? And then you have to go pay for it another one because you're in the middle trying to debug or figure out what's wrong with the prompt. So you're absolutely right, yeah, Johnny. I see Shauna chiming in. You guys are providing sound insight in a TTS showdown. Thanks so much for this class. Definitely, you're 100%. Thank you for that, Shauna. All right. So, AI Johnny. So, any other cons we should mention? Should we mention the hallucination one?
Hallucinations, sometimes in long audiobooks, the AI gets bored. It might start laughing randomly or change accents in the middle of a chapter. So, like anything else AI, you don't just take something that's AI and can it and send it. You always have to kind of babysit it. You have to the final judge of anything that generated where AI is on the team has to be a human. I cannot emphasize that enough because sometimes AI just seems to be just on a roll. It's in the zone. It's popping out really great stuff. And so you just start taking it like, hey, look, I'm not even going to read that paragraph or I'm not even going to listen to that song. I know it got it right. And it's when you do that it actually screws up and you end up sending something out or emailing something out or sending something to a publisher that really needed to be tweaked. So unfortunately, and this is going to be for a while because AI keeps getting better, which means it's going to keep introducing its ability to hallucinate at a higher level. And so you just have to always use it as a tool, but it's trust but verify. That's those are my Ronald Reagan said it first, but let us be the 2026 version of trust but verify. AI is not the final say in anything.
Yeah, you're right. So for folks who actually are joining first time or actually hearing us, so hallucination, this word has been thrown out a lot. So what actually is happening? Why we call it hallucination? So we would call hallucination that it starts making stuff up or it's things that it's actually not seeing. And the large language model don't really necessarily work like humans do where they're hallucinating or believing something that's not there. What's really happening is these models are what's known as predictive models. And what it's doing is it's trying to predict the next token or the next thing, word or sentence or something that actually happens. No, because it's actually trying to predict the next thing, it may not remember or ground itself in the facts that you gave it. So trying to predict the next thing, it has this battle of trying to figure out, should I actually say this next? Because that's the most common thing that's out there that's being said. But I need to remember that I have some context here that I need to ground in some facts. So what it does is it just says, I'm going to pick the statistically more popular thing. And then you say, what are you talking about? I never told you about this fact or this random thing. So it actually predicted that thing and showed it as what they think is the next predictable thing. And you're like, well, that's not true. That's a hallucination. So it's just a statistically correct thing that would have been correctly to say, but because it's not grounded in facts, it's actually not true. So yeah, Johnny, we're gonna go over to the advanced section.
Let's talk a little bit about the advanced technology specifications. If you're a high tech guy, you're gonna love what Junior has to say. If you're not high tech, just know that I have been subliminally relaxing your mind throughout the show. So just sit back. Let what Junior says, just let it sink into your brain. And then somewhere 2 weeks from now, you'll understand it perfectly, but you might not get it right this second. Junior, go for it.
Yeah, Shauna's saying, thanks. Yeah, Johnny. So Shauna's saying the predictive capabilities are super frustrating. You're absolutely right, Shauna. Sometimes, you're working on a document and you say, just fix this up for me. And then it just changes your document completely. I feel you, Shauna. I feel you. All right. So the thing is, AI Johnny, the question might be asked, what makes this different from a robot voice on my GPS, right? And what happens is there's something called latent diffusion audio. So ElevenLabs itself isn't just stitching audio together. It's not just piecing words of things together, like the word and the word or and the word, Main Street and stitching them together. It uses a form of diffusion model logic tailored for the audio. So what it does is it visualizes the speech in a latent space. It's like a mathematical map of all human sounds, and it denoises the silence into speech, right? A lot of technical details here. So again, don't fall asleep on me here, guys. So for developers, the turbo model has a latency or a delay of about 75 to 100 milliseconds. So this is actually critical for building AI chatbots that can talk to you on the phone, because if the latency is too high, or you talk over each other, the turbo is fast enough for real conversations. So you ever on a phone, AI Johnny, and you just hear that lag, and you're just like, there's a delay, and then sometimes you end up speaking over each other. That lag itself can sound unnatural when you're speaking to a bot. So when you're talking to the phone with another human, you can kind of like say it's a little frustrating, but you can kind of bypass it. Or you say, let me call you back, there's a new connection. But if it happens in the chatbot world, it's super frustrating, so it's annoying. So the model looks at text before and after the current sentence to determine intonation. It knows that no requires a different pitch than no based on the surrounding tokens. So it's kind of predicting all those things. All right, Johnny. I see you laughing at me. Was that?
You should have had ElevenLabs read that last sentence, because those two no's were a little bit too close to each other.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. All right, yeah, Johnny. What about key takeaways?
So the takeaways are from the creative business side is the faceless channel. Run an entire YouTube news channel without ever recording a mic. Use the news anchor voices. So if you wanted to have a news channel and you don't have a newsy voice, you can still run a news channel. In fact, you'll sound better than people that do have a newsy voice, because they don't have the best newsy voice. You can have that. So ad variations, you can record one radio ad, then use speech to speech to generate 20 localized versions for different cities. So you can run an ad in Boston that sounds like Boston, run it down in Texas. You're not going to want to use the Boston accent. Use something Texan. And so where you record the thing one time, and then you just say, here's the dialect that I want you to use for this geographical area, this geographical area, this geographical area. And that will definitely increase awareness and increase sales. And third, one of the other creative ideas is the podcast corrections. Did you mispronounce a guest names? Don't re-record. Just clone your voice and patch the audio file. Very easy to do. Huge nightmare before ElevenLabs came out. Piece of cake now. And then on the technical side, Junior, we're all still hypnotized. Why don't you give me some of the technical stuff?
All right, so you can create dynamic dialogue for non-playable characters in your favorite games like Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto that reacts to the player. Things like accessibility, so you can build a screen reader for your app that uses friendly branded voice instead of a default system robotic voice. And corporate training, so things like HR training, which is really, really boring and dry. You can just have, change the script, saving thousands of money on rehiring voice actors and video actors. So, definitely you don't have to spend that much money on those corporate trainings. All right. So do we guys have any questions from the audience? Let them, chime them in now. If you're signing in from the live, go ahead. There's a 30-second delay. We're not ignoring you. Just go ahead and type your questions about anything text to speech related in our AI TTS showdown today. Sean, I see you actually have your hand up. Go ahead.
Just wanted to say this was an incredibly informative and insightful class. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just wanted to drop that here.
All right. Thank you so much, Shauna, for that feedback. All right.
Nice job, Junior, of using ElevenLabs to clone Shauna's voice. Very well done. I think the entire class was fooled.
Definitely. All right, yeah, Johnny. Is there any questions from the audience that you can actually see coming in from the chat?
A lot of questions queued up. We'll get to as many as we can. We got one from VC, wants to know if they can clone a celebrity voice like Morgan Freeman.
Oh boy. Yeah, Johnny, this is actually getting into the realm of legalities now. So technically, you can do anything you want, right? So yes, technically you could clone Morgan Freeman's voice. And I'm sure he's probably one of the most sought after voice out there. Legally, can you do it? No, because Morgan Freeman's voice is actually owned by Morgan Freeman. You can't just willy-nilly go take Morgan Freeman's voice and then just go make him say anything, because that's illegal. So you have to compensate people for their things, no matter what, if it's their voice, their likeness, whatever it is, it's their personal ownership. So ElevenLabs has a voice capture safeguards to prevent you from cloning famous people without their verification, right? So you need to upload a recording of yourself saying the specific code to prove you are the owner of the voice. So you technically can, you could probably do it in real time, but you know, it's not legal for you to do it. Next question, AI Johnny.
Okay, DevOps Dave wants to know, how do I handle the pricing if my app goes viral?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So this is a great problem to have. So I cannot tell you that you're not going to go bankrupt, right? Imagine you're actually out there, you're a hobby developer, and because you're a hobby developer, you don't have that much money to actually fund your project, and you're using ElevenLabs, and boom, your app goes viral. In the old days, your site, if it's a website, it would usually just go down. It can't handle load. But ElevenLabs scales to millions and millions and millions of users per second. So what happens is you get a big bill at the end. You get a $30,000 bill. What do you do, right? So unfortunately, you need to cache your audio. Don't generate the same welcome message 10,000 times. You need to put things like, you know, API limit calls inside. You generate things once, and you cache as much as you can. So the aim is, if you're going to do dynamic things, try to cache it and try to be not so unique with their text. So if you're going to use the API, use it in special scenarios where the API can generate unique text. So definitely it's a problem it's a good problem to have, because if your app goes viral and you have a $50,000 debt, you can then go say, hey, can you give me some time? I need to go find an investor. So it's a good problem to have, AI Johnny.
So cache solves it on either side. It's just spelled differently.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm actually going to even type that, AI Johnny.
Investor. If you're going to have 30,000 people coming into your backyard, you're going to need a call to action. You're going to need to turn those 30,000 people into cash flow, right? And if you're not doing that, then you should cache your stuff and not allow it to bankrupt you when you're actually trying to make yourself rich.
Definitely.
Does that make any sense?
Definitely. Love it, AI Johnny. And I love the fact that you brought in cache versus cache. So that's CACHE. That is a temporary storage or holding location for some temporary location to save something. And cache, you know, CASH. I don't need to actually explain that one. That one's self-explanatory. Thanks, AI Johnny, for that. Any more questions, AI Johnny?
I'm just amazed that I'm understanding what you're saying at all, brother. Maybe this hypnosis is working.
You know what? AI Johnny, I'm even speechless. I could actually fill in some text with ElevenLabs right now to respond, but I'm not that quick. All right, AI Johnny, any more questions?
Future boy has a question. Will this ever work in real time like a universal translator?
You know, AI Johnny, we used to actually have, you know, back in the day, problems with the things taking a long time, right? We used to have pen pals where we'd actually send a letter to someone in another country. We'd used to wait, you know, a month to actually get a message back. You know, I'm kind of dating myself here, but that used to be how we actually send letters internationally. And then, you know, you can actually have much faster, instead of sending mail by boat or whatever, because it's cheaper, you know, can actually do it electronically. So you can actually send a message electronically. The person can get it right away. So the point I'm trying to make is that technology makes things better and faster. So right now, we are not in the world where we have the ability to do what's known as real-time audio communication. Real-time audio communication is super hard problem. So with low latency just means the time for the turnaround between things that happen and the time for the reaction to happen. So the latency itself, I think in 2026, maybe 2027, we should have low latency models that are so fast that you probably won't even notice there's a delay. So I do think real time is coming, just not yet.
Okay. You know what? When I get emails all the time that are in other languages, and I just click translate to English, and it instantaneously translates it to English. And then when I write the email back, I write it in English, and I just click translate to French, and it translates it to French. So text wise, it's already there. I can't imagine it not being ready in 2026.
I know. It's a hard problem to solve, AI Johnny. Hard problem to solve. AI Johnny, is there any news that that we can actually
News.
use?
ElevenLabs is in the news. It raised
Ooh,
$500 million in a Series D. Just this week, it broke that ElevenLabs is now valued at $11 billion. That's interesting
yeah.
and serendipitous.
Yes.
They're now doubling down on their audiobook marketplace to compete with Audible. Whoa. I got to talk to these guys that are behind this company. They are just on fire.
Yeah, definitely.
I
They
thought
are.
when all they did was audio, I thought they're going to get gobbled up by an audio video company, but they're doing a pretty good job. I guess they're adding video, right? Or they're partnering up with video.
I think they're gonna stick with audio because that's their bread and butter. If they go into video, they're just gonna sink a whole bunch of money into their TTV models. I think they're already king of audio, so and they have all the services around and they're growing like crazy. So being worth $11 billion, like you said, yeah, Johnny, ElevenLabs is actually doing pretty good. The next news is Studio 3.0 release. They have officially moved just beyond voice, like we said. The new Studio 3.0 allows you to edit video. Oh, yeah, Johnny, you're actually right. I didn't catch this one. You have the ability to edit video, add sound effects, and mix music all in the browser. So it's a full production suite. That's interesting. We need to definitely elaborate on that one a little bit more because I didn't know they probably don't generate video, but they probably, like they said, edit the video in the actual browser. That's pretty nifty. And the EU
That's
AI.
Google Studio 3.0. That's Google Studio 3.0.
No. This is for ElevenLabs Studio 3.0.
Okay, so ElevenLabs has a product called Studio 3.0.
Yep. And
Talk to me like I'm 10-second Tom, brother.
no worries. And the last one is the EU AI Act impact. So as of February 2nd, new regulations require all AI-generated audio to have a digital watermark. So ElevenLabs actually has updated their audio to include these invisible signals to prevent deepfake frauds. So believe it or not, if you actually try to print $100 bill on a printer, when you print it on a printer, there's some hidden dots that actually are on the printer that a money scanner will be able to catch. So these digital watermarks are invisible to your ear and my ear, but can actually be picked up in frequencies that are actually checking for those digital watermarks. So they're being able to actually scan for deep fakes. So if you guys want to make a copy of somebody's voice, just remember you're going to be able to track that back to original source. All right, AI Johnny, what did we learn today?
Well, before we get to what we learned, I'm going to go home and clone my dog's bark and see if I can make him recite Shakespeare. Probably not, but I'm going to try to use the speech-to-speech feature anyway. To the team at ElevenLabs, we know you're watching. Our students want to master the dubbing studio, so give us a holler. Tune in tomorrow for a very serious episode, The Redaction Mistake. We're going to show you why using a black marker on a PDF does not actually hide your social security number from AI. It is a security nightmare that you need to know about. Thank you for watching. If you want the Gauntlet prompts we used today, sign up for a free account at airheadinstitute.ai. Join us tomorrow at noon. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Class is dismissed, but not before Junior says goodbye.
Guys, can't wait to look forward to that redacting episode tomorrow, especially because the Epstein Files actually has a lot of redaction in there. So catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
That wraps up today's AI Power Up. If you joined late or you're new here, welcome to Airhead Institute. This is your daily destination for mastering artificial intelligence. We designed this lineup for everyone, whether you're a technical pro looking to upskill or you just want to chill and learn something new on your lunch break, we've got you covered. Our classes evolve every single month, so you're always on the cutting edge. And the best part? It's totally free to join. Once you're in, you can get live tips on your AI projects in our AI office hours and even enroll your kids in our Airhead After School program. Scan the QR code to join the community right now and make sure to like and subscribe at Airhead Institute on all socials. Guided by your hosts AI Junior and AI Johnny, we're here to help you win. Remember, AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Don't get left behind. We'll see you next class. Bring a friend.